All right, so like I was saying, a little bit more targeted today. We're going to go a little bit slower and really focus on trying to get that mind muscle connection. So one of the big reasons why we have lazy glutes, or our glutes don't function as optimally as we'd like them to, is because our other muscles compensate for them. So this is almost going to be a little bit of that mind muscle connection, like rehabilitation, where we're really focusing on certain muscle groups to try to wake them up and use them. And we're going to do that in the warm up, and then we're going to try to use them when we're doing the bigger exercises as well. So bear with me, it's going to be a little bit more slow and controlled, but hopefully a lot more powerful. So we're going to start with a little bit of mobility anyway to start with. So just taking your time, dropping down into a squat, trying to sit deep into the heels, walking yourself forward into a plank, pushing up into a downward dog. So you're stretching out the posterior chain, back into your plank, and then walking yourself back into that squat, chest proud, and stand back up. Take your time with it, slowly dropping down. Concentrate on your breath work here, driving up into downward dog, back into your plank, walking it back into deep squat, chest proud, standing back up. Nice. Beautiful. 2 more. Last one. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our mat so that our knees protected when we're going into our lunge-like position, legs in front. So we're going to open up from our hip flexor and also our psoas, which is the muscle just above the hip flexor. It's what internally connects it. So we're going to reach up with that right hand, bit of pressure on it with the left, and you should feel a little bit of stabilization and then a release from that muscle. You should feel like you've got a nice stretch coming in through there. So you want to squeeze through your back glute, long deep breath in as you reach up nice and tall. And then we're tilting backwards, almost like a deadlift position with our hips, flexing the front foot back, dropping down, stretching out that back hamstring as we breathe out. And then reaching up again, long deep breath in, squeeze through the glute, open up from the hip, support in the middle, so you're getting a psoas open as well. Good. And exhale, come down, stretch out that front hamstring. Last one this side, reach up nice and tall, long deep breath in. And exhale, come down. So opening up that front's really important, because if we've got tightness there, it's going to shut the glute off as well. So that's why this one's nice and slow and controlled and really targeted. Now I can't do this with that knee on the ground, so bear with me. Okay, reaching up that left arm, bit of pressure with the right, long deep breath in. Squeezing that glute, opening up through the psoas. And folding forward, stretch that front hamstring out. And coming back up again. Good, well done. Reaching up, squeezing through the glute, and breathing out, folding forward. Last one. Reach up, long deep breath in. And breathe out, fold forward. Good. Slowly coming into a seated position. Legs out in front, heels stay on the ground, and we're just bringing our knees over to the side. You can't see me very well there. And feet stay where they are, knees come to the other side. So we're just slightly rotating with our torso when we do that as well. So we're getting a nice opening through the hips and the lower back. Breathing out as the knees collapse and we come over. So we're getting some blood flow into all those joints as well. One more each side. Last one. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to put our bands on. So we're just going to do our walkouts for these. So take your time, slowly stand up with that band on just above the knees. I'm just going to go through the muscles that we're going to try to activate. So today we're really going to focus on our glute medius, which when we're looking at our glute muscles, you've got the muscle that goes sort of up the center. So you've got three muscles there, but we're really focusing on our wider muscle here. So when we're contracting, we're thinking of contracting the sides. So you can sort of bring your hands into the center of your glutes around to the side a little, and then push the knees out a little and squeeze your glutes. That's where we're trying to activate. They can be very hard to activate when they're not engaging well and connecting well. And you want to make sure that you're actually feeling them. One side might be shut off more than the other. So we're going to go slow and controlled with these movements today. But you can bring your hands on your glutes so you can try to feel them there. We're going to step in and then out, in and out. So we can turn our toes out a little on this one because we're trying to target those muscles out to the side. And then slowly come backwards. So you'll notice the leg that's staying on the ground does just as much stabilizing as the leg that's coming out with that glute. And that's because this muscle is a stabilizer, which is why it's so important with our movements. So if it's not working correctly, then our knee can be very vulnerable. So we want those bigger muscles to help support all our joints, especially the knees. Good. So just keep taking your time with it. Find those muscles. Now, if you feel like they're hard to engage, you can just take your band off for this one. So sometimes when that muscle is quite sleepy, it's quite hard to activate when you've got a lot of resistance. So the first exercise we're going to do on the mat, try it without the band to start with. Make sure it's engaging, and then you can use the band. Last lap. So you can feel that that muscle actually pushes the knee out. It helps to push our knee out. It helps to stabilize that knee. So if you notice that in certain movements, your knee collapses in when you're going into your lunges or your squats, which is very common, this muscle can really help support that so that you're getting that strength and it's not rolling in. All right, so when you're ready, coming down onto the mat. So like I said, take the band off for this one to start with. Make sure you're getting the right activation. So you're coming onto the side. So we're going into clamps. Now you guys have done this before, but really come onto your side. Now feel where that muscle is, because we want to make sure that that muscle is contracting when we're coming up. So we're going to go through a few little pointers to make sure that it's activating. So we want to push that front knee or the top knee over the bottom one so that we're not getting too much hip flexion or hip flexor activation when we're doing this. So that knee pushes forward over the bottom one and then squeeze and come up. Now you don't need to come up too wide because that'll start working your adductors as well. So we just want to squeeze and lift and back down. Squeeze and lift and back down. If you can't feel that, have a play with your leg position. You might need to bring your legs back a little. Good. Feeling that? Feeling that, Jermaine? Good. Love it. So we're just going to do 4 more on this side. Two. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, flipping over into the other side. So set up the same way. Make sure the knees aren't coming up too high. Tilting right over to the side. That top knee pushes over the bottom knee. Putting that hand right in the center of that glute. Squeeze and then come up. Release off, squeeze and come up. So you want to make sure it's not staying on as well. So it's like our core. We want to be able to activate and unactivate as well. Feeling it that side as well? Yeah, cool. So just take your time with it. So even if that feels strong and you feel like this is good, this is easy, that's a good thing. We want to make sure that we've got that connection, because when we do our bigger exercises, that's the muscle we're going to really try to target as well. Nice work. Almost there. We're going to do 4 more. If you feel a disconnect, the other thing is you can activate your core to help as well. So draw the pelvic floor up and the core in as that leg comes out. So you don't want to be squeezing too hard, activating the hip flexor too much, but just engage the core so that you can really squeeze that glute and tuck under rather than having the hips pushing backwards and that tailbone exposing. Good, well done. Okay, so the next one, we're going to put our bands on for this one. We're going to do toe taps. Doesn't matter if you don't want to wear the band for this one. Again, if you've got a bit of a weak glute med, it's better just to try to activate without too much pressure. So see how you feel, but we're dropping into a slight squat. One leg is staying on the ground and the other leg is tapping in front. So this leg's stabilizing as that leg's being challenged and the weight's pulling that knee out. So your glute med is really forcing that knee to stay in line. So think about connecting with it. Now, if you're getting a burn somewhere else, just rest, recover, come out of it, come back into it, try to squeeze it, take that leg out. Good. How are we going? We're feeling it? Good. So remember, if the other muscles start burning more, come out, shake it off and come back into it. Last row. Good job. All right, breathe, recover. Other side, take your time, set it up. Make sure that hand's there so you can feel it engage if you want to. Nice. So one side might be a little bit harder to activate than the other. That's fine. Just make sure you're coming back up, resetting, squeezing through the glute to help. Nice. Almost there. Last lap. And rest. Good job. Okay, back into our walkouts. So you might find it a little bit easier to feel them now. So you can turn those toes out a little bit, slight squat, stepping in and stepping out. Good job. Nice. Good. So it's almost like you're releasing as the leg comes in and then squeezing both sides as the leg comes out. Good. So those glutes are working hard to push the band out at both ends. So you should feel nice and stable when that happens as well. It's good. Last lap. Good. All right, coming back onto the mat. If you want to try with your bands with this one, go for it. Just make sure if you start to feel like it feels worse with the band on, take it off. So we really want to take the time to connect with these muscles at the start. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to get them to activate throughout the other movements as well. So take your time, squeeze, bring that leg out. Good. So remember to set up if you're feeling like you're out of position. Just push that top knee forward a little, stack your hips on top of each other. Good job. Doing well. Four more, almost there. 3, 2. Last one. And change sides. Doing well, guys. Tedious work, almost done. So reset that knee, push it over to the top of the old one, the bottom one. Squeeze and lift. So you might need to reset your foot position. Doing well. Nice. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Well done. All right, standing up. Got our toe taps. Okay, slight bend. Leg comes out. Remember, if it feels like it's becoming too much and that glute's starting to get lazy because it's tired, come back out of it, reset. Challenge it a bit more. So you can start to come across the leg. If you're feeling nice and sturdy, you can challenge your range a little bit more. Doing well. Is it tired or asleep? Good, good. That's good. Good. That's what we like. And recover, other side. So I'll go through some cues to help you activate the others if this one feels nice and strong. That's good. Yeah, you sort of think of them as one muscle, but nice. So you can challenge your range if that's feeling nice and solid. Good. Doing well. Almost there. One more lap. And recover. Well done. Beautiful. So you can take that band off. All right. So we're going to do glute bridges. So you can grab a bit of weight if you want to challenge yourself if this exercise feels nice and comfortable. So grab a drink if you want, guys. I'm just going to go through the exercises. So glute bridge, if you do have a weight, bringing it onto the hips. Feet come in nice and close to the hips. Tuck the tailbone under. So now that you've felt that glute activation, you can really use that to try to help you with this drive. So you're squeezing through the glutes and driving up with the hips and back down. So we're trying to really elevate the hips here. Tuck under with the pelvis, drive up through the glutes. So that's our first one, is our bridge. Second one is our stiff-legged deadlift. So with this one, we're going to take our time, chest up, shoulders back. So our normal stiff-legged deadlift, double leg, is when our legs are nice and straight, slight bend in the knees so that we're not locking and hyperextending them, but we're just coming down the leg line with that weight. So we're just hinging from the hips. Everything else is nice and sturdy. Now with one leg, take your time, chest up, shoulders back, slowly down and back up. Okay, so we're using that glute muscle to stabilize that leg on the ground. So that's our stiff-legged deadlift, and then we're going into an ab just to recover for the legs. So we're coming into a bicycle crunch. Now, if that's nice and easy, you can start up and you can drop down, one leg up to your elbow. So your back stays off the ground the whole time. Okay, so they're our abs. So that's our little circuit. So we're going to start with our glute bridges. So when you're ready, you can come onto your mat, grabbing some weight if you want to. Feet come in nice and close to the hips. Tuck the tailbone under and drive the hips up, nice and high, squeezing through the glutes. Breathe out as you come up. So make sure that back is flattening into the mat before you drive up. So that's going to get that tailbone tuck happening. So we're not using too much of our back in the movement. Good. Make sure that weight's not bruising your hip bones. So use your hands to help stabilize, or bring it down your leg line a little bit if you need to. Four more. 3, 2. Last one. And recover. Good. Okay, into our stiff-legged deadlift. So single leg if you can, double leg is fine. Just take your time with it. Chest up, shoulders back. Good. Nice. So with the other glutes, what you want to do is you want to think about pulling from the bottom to the top. So you're clenching the glutes upwards rather than out. So it's a slightly different connection for this movement. That's it. How does that feel? Solid? Well done. Beautiful. Good job. Three more. 2. Last one. Change sides. So take your time, recover. Keep going. Beautiful. Well done. So you're trying to connect with that glute. And that's helping that knee stay in line with your toes, and your heels staying on the ground nice and evenly. Good. Four more, almost there. Last 2. Last one. Beautiful. Okay. Abs on the mat. Taking your option. So into the bicycle crunch where the knee comes in to the opposite elbow and the back stays down. If you want the more advanced movement, start in your V, then slowly come down, up, elbow to opposite knee. Yeah, try it with the hands that way. Yeah, that's all right. Nice. Doing well. Two more each side. One more each. Last one. and relax. Beautiful. Back into our glute bridge. So onto your back. Feet in nice and close to the hips. Take your time, make sure your back tucks under into the mat. Pelvis is under a little, then drive the hips up. So you're squeezing through your core and pelvic floor at the top as well, which is also going to help support your back. So even if you are quite flexible and that back is extending at the top, hyperextending, your core is helping it. Doing well. 4 more. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Well done. Okay. Single leg deadlift or double leg. So with this one, when we're setting up, if we're thinking we're keeping a lot of tension right from the ground where our foot's nice and planted all the way up to our glute. So you're keeping a lot of tension or contraction. So we're squeezing through the leg the whole way up. You're going to have a lot more stability. So try to think about being tense right from the toes into the ground, squeezing through your glute, the hamstring and the quad. Then come down. You should feel nice and stable. Nice. Good. Three more. 2. Last one. And change sides. Nice work. Let's recover. Good. Good. Beautiful. Four more, we're almost there. Two to go. Last one. Well done. Beautiful. Okay, abs. Taking your option. Four more each side. 3, 2. Last one. Well done. Beautiful. All right, last set here. Take your time. Back into our glute bridge. So coming onto your mat when you're ready. Feet in nice and close to the hips. Tucking the tailbone under, driving the hips up, squeezing through the core and the glutes. . 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Beautiful. All right, stiff-legged deadlifts. Take your time with your setup. Think about that tension right from the floor. Beautiful. Good. Nice. Four more. 3, 2. Last one. Beautiful. All right. Changing sides. Oh, taking your time. Good. Four more. 2 to go. Last one. Beautiful. Well done. Into our bicycle crunch or V-ups. Last set of these, almost at a break. Breathe out as you're crunching up. Four more each side. 3, 2. Last one. And recover. Well done. Beautiful. Okay. Have a drink, have a breather. Just going to get a kettlebell. I'm feeling. How are you feeling, Jermaine? All good? Awesome. Okay, so did we feel that glute fire throughout that? Do we feel like that was a bit easier to engage? Still a bit hard? All good? Cool. Okay. So next one we're doing is we're doing a squat. Now with this one, it is going to be a little bit easier to find that glute med because our legs are in a wider position. So front squat. So basically holding the weight, if you've got one, in front so that when we drop down, our weight's really close to our center of gravity as well as our chest. So our chest stays proud. If we start to tilt forward, it becomes more of a deadlift and it becomes a little bit heavier on our lumbar. So we want to really target the glutes here. Chest up, shoulders back, dropping down. You can point the toes out because we're trying to find that glute med. And then we're going to do a halo. Now, only do the halo if you can feel that your core is nice and strong. And when you drop down, everything's stable. If it doesn't feel stable, then just hold it down the bottom for a second and come back up. Okay, so with that halo movement, we're transferring weight around, so our body has to stabilize a lot more, challenging the core and the stabilizers, which is those glutes that we were talking about. Okay, so that's the first exercise. Second one is a lunge with a row in it. So we're going to go into a bit more of a deadlift after the lunge. So bear with me. If you don't have weights, it doesn't matter. You can do this just with your hands. So we're coming backwards into a lunge. So we're sitting up tall, coming forward and leaning forward over that front leg into a row and back up. So you can leave the weights by your side if you want to. So it's just a lunge, tilt forward, row, and back up. Now, when we're doing that row, we want to make sure, so stepping back into our lunge, sitting up nice and tall, leaning forward, see how my back stays neutral and my shoulder blades are really nice and engaged so that my spine's protected. So if you're starting to round a little bit, then we really need to think about lifting that chest up nice and proud. So you can see if I was to straighten this back leg, it's one nice straight line. So our chest is nice and proud and our shoulder blades are down and back. So a little cue with that one is to squeeze your shoulder blades together under your armpits, from the armpits to the shoulder blades together, and that will engage your lats, which will help stabilize the spine. So that's our lunge with our row. Then we're doing step ups. So if you've got a chair, grab that. So we're just stepping up on the step. Now again, with this one, it's a really good one to squeeze that glute to help that knee be nice and stable. So I might do it facing you so you can see my knee. So when I step up, if my glute's not activating very well, you'll notice my knee collapses in. So when I go to stand up, it comes into my midline. So what I want to do is I want to keep a bit of weight into it, push through the heel, squeeze the glute on the side to help stabilize that knee on the way up and the way down. So as I come down, I'm squeezing and that knee stabilizing. So ideally, we want that knee, the center of the knee. So if I was to draw a line down the center of the knee, it would be in line with not my big toe, but my second toe. Okay, so that's the line that we're imagining is there and we're trying to stick to. So using our glutes to really help us keep that line slowly back down. All right, if you feel like you can't get that with that height, then just do it off the ground. Just come backwards and then up a little. So just like a little reverse lunge. Just go to where you feel like you can stabilize that. All right, so that's our step ups. I know there's a lot in this one. We're going to do sit ups to help us with a bit of recovery in between that. So we're just doing sit ups, normal sit ups. So all the way up if we can and all the way back down. So you'll notice even in the sit ups, our knees can collapse in and it makes it that little bit harder for us. So we're going to use the glutes on the outside as well to tuck under with the pelvis, squeeze through those glutes and come up. It should make you a little bit more stable even in your sit ups. So those glutes can be really helpful in a lot of our exercises. All right, so we're going to start with that squat to halo. So like I said, it doesn't matter if you don't want to do the halo. If you don't have weights, that's fine also. I just want you to really focus on engaging with your glute medius, which is the muscles we've been targeting at the start. So take your time, turn the toes out a little bit if you want to, so that you can help engage them. Slowly squatting down, holding it, and halo, and then back up. Good. Give your body a chance to activate the core so that you can be nice and sturdy with that transfer of weight. Good. Nice. Well done. Good. So Jermaine, if you just turn to one side for me so I can see the side of you with the camera as well, I'll just have a look at how your back's tracking. Nice, well done. So try to push the hips back a little bit more as you drop down. That's it, good, yes. Like you're sitting over a seat, that'll protect the knees that little bit more. Nice. That's a good depth, well done. Nice, ladies. We're feeling those glutes. They can be really hard to connect to in certain movements, so take your time with it. 2 more each side. One more each side. Last one. Relax, well done. Okay, setting up for our squat to row. Sorry, lunge to row. These are my words today. Okay, so nice and proud chest. Reversing the lunge. Stabilizing, coming forward, shoulders down and back, row and stand up. Lunge, tilt forward, row and back up. Good. Nice. Good. Well done. Three more. Two. Last one. On the glutes. Relax. Where are you feeling it? Quad. Okay, so bear with me. I'll adjust you in a second. All right. Other leg. Good. Keep going for me. Good. Now come forward a little bit more. That's it. Squeeze as much as you can here. Good. Still feeling quad?
Bit of both.
Okay, good. So try to engage with that glute as much as you can. Doing well. Three more. Two. Last one. Good, well done. Recover. All right, into our step ups. You're welcome to use a bit of weight with this, but as long as you're getting that right activation and you're not struggling with the knee moving without weight. Okay, so start without weight if you want to. You can progress. All right, so when we're ready, stepping, squeezing through the glute, squeeze on the way down as well. Nice. Good. Three more. Two. Good job. Last one. And change sides. Take your time. Nice. Beautiful. 3 more. Two. Last one. Well done. Recover there. So Jermaine, if you felt like that was hard to stabilize your knee, you can keep that foot up so it just stays up, and then you step up and step back down without bringing that leg down again. So you looked okay. I couldn't see your knee because you're facing that way, but if it feels like it's hard to stabilize, keep your foot up and just control it up and down. All right, so into our sit-ups. So coming onto your mat. So remember what I was saying about the glutes to help you here. If your knees are collapsing in, you want to use your glutes, squeeze them as you come up. So tuck that pelvis under, squeeze it back into the mat, then slowly come up, push the knees out, and then slowly come back down. So you're engaging the core pelvic floor and the glutes. So if you struggle to keep the feet down, then squeezing those glutes will help stabilize your feet as well. So it's giving you a lot more strength through your lower body to stabilize yourself. All that transfers weight as your body comes up. Beautiful. Doing well. 4 more. Last 2. Last one. Relax. Beautiful. Okay. Oh. I lost Jermaine. That's okay. All right, we're only going to do 1 more set because that's all we've got time for. So when you're ready, squat to our halo. Okay. So squeezing through the glutes, dropping down. Halo. Back up. Nice. Well done. Beautiful. 2 more each side. One more each side. Last one. And rest. Well done. All right, lunge to row. So take your time. Reverse lunge. Come up, row. Beautiful. So when you come up, keep your leg, or keep your glutes a little bit lower, and you should make it activate a bit more. See how you go. Nice. Feel that more through the back of your leg? Yeah. So just take your time with it. Nice. Two more. Last one. Beautiful. All right, other side. Good. 3 more. 2. Last one. Well done. Beautiful. All right, step ups. Last leg exercise. Okay, when you're ready. Good. Connect with that glute. If you do less reps because you feel like your glutes fatiguing and your quads taking over, or your knee isn't stable, that's fine. Three more. 2. Last one. And change sides. Good. Good. Almost there. 4 more. 2 to go. Last one. Nice. All right, sit up, and then that's it. We're into a stretch. Sorry for the virtual guys. I know it's gone from an hour. If you need to go and stretch. Okay, sit ups. Squeeze through those glutes. Pelvic floor and core engaged. Three more. 2. Last one. Well done. So when you're ready, just stay on your back on your mat and hug your knees into your chest. So it's going to stretch out the back a little bit. So we're going to keep our right knee into our chest, left leg goes out straight. We're going to bring that across to our left shoulder and then grab your foot with your left hand and just take it across the body a little bit more. You should feel a nice stretch down the glute. You're going to extend that leg out, flex the toes back to your face, and drop it to the side, push the right shoulder blade into the ground. Slowly bring it back, relax it down, left knee into the chest, taking it across to your right shoulder, taking that right hand and grabbing the left foot, taking it across the body. And extending that leg out, flexing the toes back to your face, pushing the left shoulder blade into the ground. And slowly coming back up, slowly sitting up, legs out straight in front of you. You're going to flex the toes away from you, reach up nice and tall to the ceiling. Long, deep breath in. Exhale, come down, flex the toes back to your face, head down to the knees. Slowly coming up again. We're going to take our left foot around to the back our right knee is bent in the front. And we're just going to slowly roll onto the top of that right knee or the right foot. If you want a little bit more here, you can get that foot and bring it up towards the top of the mat. It'll open up the glute and the hip a little bit more. And then slowly change sides. That's it. So set yourself up first, roll over onto that foot. Nice. And relax. Well done. Awesome work. No problem. See you next week, guys.